Good day, everybody. It's Andrew here. We have great news regarding the next stimulus package and regarding a potential stimulus check for seniors. Now, let's discuss the details in this video, but before we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. As always, do me a huge favor, subscribe to my second channel. The link to that is going to be in the comments of this video. Now, the good news here is that it looks like the stimulus package is going to be fully paid for, and it looks like the House is going to approve the stimulus package by the end of this week, this Friday. So we're going to discuss why, exactly what this good news is, and why it's going to set the stage for the stimulus package to hopefully get approved by the end of this week. But first, let's do a quick update on daily trending news. Now, one thing I've been thinking about talking about is stocks. And let me know in the comments if you're interested in the stock market. One thing that's making headlines, and it involves Bernie Sanders, is that Elon Musk picked a Twitter fight with Bernie Sanders over taxing the rich. Now, if you follow my channel, you know that one of the main ways that Democrats plan to pay for these stimulus packages and Social Security increases is by taxing the rich. And recently, Elon Musk decided to sell some of his stocks purposely to pay taxes to show Democrats like, hey, I'm willing to pay taxes. I'm going to sell some of my stocks. So here you go. And then Bernie Sanders again continued to post that the rich have to pay their fair share, of course, which is true. Then Elon Musk responded by actually commenting on Bernie Sanders' post saying, hey, Bernie, first of all, he kind of did a personal attack at his age, saying, oh, Bernie, I forget you're still alive, which was quite frankly just rude. Then he went on to say, Bernie Sanders, if you want me to sell more stocks, just let me know. I'll go ahead and sell more stocks to pay more taxes. So this is kind of interesting when you see billionaires directly responding to Bernie Sanders over paying more taxes. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Since Elon Musk has been selling his stock, Tesla stock price has been plummeting. Now, let's jump into stimulus checks. Now, stimulus checks is obviously something that Bernie Sanders is trying to include in this package for seniors, and we're still waiting to find out whether or not it's included. Now, a piece of great news that we got was from the Congressional Budget Office just last night, bringing us one step closer to not only getting the stimulus package approved more quickly, but also potentially including stimulus checks for seniors. Now, the Congressional Budget Office just said last night that another portion of the stimulus package is fully paid for, and the big announcement here, the great news here that was announced, is that the Congressional Budget Office expects to have the full score released by this Friday. Now, that's a huge deal. First of all, because moderate Democrats have said that they won't approve the stimulus package in the House until that score comes out, and it shows that the stimulus package is fully paid for. So the good news is we're on track to hopefully get that stimulus package approved in the House by this Friday. Now, the second piece of good news is that the Congressional Budget Office is releasing in portions whether or not certain portions of the stimulus package are fully paid for, and they released a little bit more last night, and so far, the stimulus package is fully paid for, and experts think it might even have extra money left over from taxing the rich. And what that means is that that extra money could be used to include the stimulus check for seniors, even increasing it to potentially $2,000 per person. So, again, this is all speculation, but as far as the news that has come out, this is good news for seniors because the package will probably be approved by the end of this week, based off of what conservative Democrats have said. And secondly, there might be money left over in this package to include the stimulus checks for seniors. So that is really, really good news. Now, House Democrats on Monday inched closer to a pre-Thanksgiving vote on President Biden's stimulus check package, as the Congressional Budget Office issued a new cost estimate, which was demanded by centrist Democrats before they vote to approve this package. Now, they announced that the CBO intends to wrap up its full budget impact analysis by end of day this Friday, which is a quicker timeline than previously suggested, and one raising the prospects that the House will move to approve the measure this week. See? So we do expect to have the score of how much this package is going to cost and whether or not it's fully paid for by the end of this week. And Nancy Pelosi has said that she plans to immediately bring it to a vote in the House so they can get that done by the end of this week. So really, really good news. And guys, this is going to be a huge week for stimulus. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and I will keep you posted as things develop. We might have this stimulus package approved soon. So once the House fully approves the stimulus check package, they're then going to send it to the Senate where they'll have to approve it as well. And again, hopefully it has enough money left over to include the stimulus check for seniors. This is not something I made up. This is something that Bernie Sanders is trying to include in the package, and President Biden has acknowledged that they are actively trying to include it in this stimulus package. So as negotiations continue on the stimulus check package, Democrats are celebrating the full approval of the physical stimulus plan, which President Biden just signed into law last night. Now, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi held a press conference talking about the physical stimulus plan and how it's going to benefit the American economy and the American people directly. So, if you want to stick around for this press conference, we're going to play a quick clip showing Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer discussing the details of this physical stimulus plan. So, with that said, guys, let's take a look, see what they had to say, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Thank you, Mr. President, for inviting us to the White House. Thank you to Vice President Harris, my colleagues in attendance, all of you, and Senator Sinema, Portman, and Speaker Pelosi. Now, for years, Americans were promised that an infrastructure bill was coming. Today, we're telling the American people that an infrastructure bill is finally here. Thank you, President Biden. At the start of this year, we told American families that we'd meet our challenges, the challenges of our time, with boldness and with courage. Now they're getting one of the largest infrastructure bills ever. To paraphrase one of my favorite former vice presidents, it's a big effing deal. There isn't a community in America, not a city, not a town or rural hub, that doesn't have some glaring infrastructure problem requiring immediate attention. Busted roads make it harder for people to get to work. Dilapidated schools make it harder for kids to learn. Overtaxed seaports and railways and airports make it harder for goods to get to market, hurting businesses, raising prices on consumers, and hurting our economy. If America is to compete in this century, we can't do it with an infrastructure that's stuck in the last century. This infrastructure bill will help us meet the challenges of our time, strengthen our crucial supply chains, and lay the foundation for another generation of economic prosperity. This bill can be summed up by a four-letter word: J-O-B-S. Jobs, jobs, and more local jobs, more good-paying jobs, more union jobs. This bill will benefit every state, in very significant ways. In New York, my New York, major projects have been stalled for so long, like Gateway, the Cross Bronx Expressway, the 2nd Avenue Subway, I-81 in Syracuse, the Inner Loop in Rochester, will all have the ability to get going. And there are projects as important as these in every state across the country. Today's infrastructure bill will also begin the necessary efforts to prevent the worst of climate change, putting thousands of Americans to work by investing in resilience in our buildings, and crucially, beginning our task to make America's transportation system clean. It will finally bring millions of Americans online with high-speed internet, both in rural and underserved communities. New York alone still has over 1 million households without access or a subscription to broadband. We'll also help eliminate lead pipes in our water system, so one day parents won't have to worry if their kids are getting sick every time they turn on the faucet. Cities like Rochester still have 25,000 lead pipes that need replacement, 25,000. And today's legislation will also make driving safer in America. It'll require new cars to install drunk driving prevention technology, and it will make dangerous, largely unregulated vehicles like limos safer to use on the road. In the audience today, we have a great New Yorker, my friend Kevin Cushing. Kevin, where are you amid this big crowd? Thank you, Kevin. He's way back there. Kevin is the father of Patrick Cushing. Patrick died 3 years ago when he and 19 friends from the Amsterdam, New York area were celebrating a birthday, and they were killed in a limo crash in Schoharie. As the president deeply understands, that is a loss no parent should endure. It was horrific, preventable tragedy stemming from outdated federal rules and loopholes that allowed dangerous limos to operate on the road unchecked. In the face of the loss, rather than curse the darkness, Kevin and the families impacted that day lit a candle. Every day since that accident, they have pushed every single senator to support changes in our laws to make these vehicles safer to ride in. Today, their perseverance has paid off. Kevin, my friend, it was an honor to fight alongside you, and today Patrick is smiling down with pride. So, Mr. President, thank you for your leadership in achieving this long-sought goal on a bipartisan basis. The benefits go on and on. Thank you to all of my colleagues who pushed this infrastructure bill over the finish line, including our committee chairs and Speaker Pelosi, and everyone who reached across the aisle on this bipartisan achievement. Today's signing is a major and historic step forward, and we will keep working with you, Mr. President, to build on today's success by passing the rest of your Build Back Better agenda in the weeks ahead so we can keep our promises to help families achieve the American dream. Thank you, everybody. This is a great day for America.
Please welcome Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much to everyone who made today possible. I especially want to acknowledge President Biden for the glorious vision and the great commitment that he had to bring this legislation forward for the people. It is a great achievement. Thank you, Mr. President. When our nation was experiencing the depths of pandemic and economic crisis, you knew, Mr. President, that we needed not only to recover, but we had to seize the opportunity to build back better. Following your vision, Congress passed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, an historic step to rebuild the infrastructure and the middle class. Your agenda is historic, transformative, and the biggest, boldest investment in our country's history. I just want to talk about the history for a moment. The very first major infrastructure investment was President Thomas Jefferson's. He tasked the Secretary of Treasury, Gallatin, for the Gallatin Project to build the infrastructure to reach into our ever-growing nation, resulting in the Erie Canal, the Cumberland Road in Maryland, and other initiatives. Then, under President Lincoln and through legislation from Congress, America launched the Transcontinental Railroad, connecting the country from coast to coast. On the 100th anniversary of the Gallatin Project, President Theodore Roosevelt established the National Park Service to preserve God's beautiful natural patrimony of our country. And then President Eisenhower, years later, established the Interstate Highway System, initially a national security initiative, but significantly connecting America for commerce and communities. And today, Mr. President, with the stroke of your pen, we will take a giant step to achieve your vision to build America's roads, bridges, water systems, and so much more, creating good-paying union jobs, and ensuring clean air and clean water, delivering better quality of life with equity, helping businesses thrive and turbocharging our global competitiveness, connecting communities again through the internet and making America safer as we protect our planet. And we do so building back better. This historic achievement was possible thanks to so many who have been acknowledged already, honors granted to all of them, to our chairs, members, and staff who have in every step brought a depth of knowledge, commitment, and values-based leadership that is making a difference. Especially I salute in the House Transportation Infrastructure Chair, Peter DeFazio, a maestro of all things related to infrastructure and sustainability. I do want to acknowledge Mr. Clyburn, who was taking great pride, I think almost blushing, when our guest from the Carolinas was talking about broadband especially, but among other things. Thank you, Mr. Clyburn, for your leadership and all of that. May I just say and associate myself with the closing remarks of Mr. Schumer. This is a great accomplishment, and there's more to come. And so happy that hopefully this week we will be passing Build Back Better to give tax cuts to America's working families, to create millions more jobs, to lower health care costs, and all of it paid for by making everyone pay his or her own fair share. I'll close by saying last week in Glasgow at the COP26, members were met with great enthusiasm over the Build Back Better agenda, which is a show of force to the world. As the president has said, America is back. With President Biden's signature, we show America's leadership for ourselves, for the people, and to the world. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank all of you.